Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Next Friday. So Next Friday stars Ice Cube and Mike Epps, and what this film is about, it's about when Debo breaks out of prison. Basically, he's looking for Craig. Craig needs to get out of his neighborhood and move in with his Uncle Elroy and his cousin Day Day for a little bit, up until Debo can gets back into jail and whatever. And their Uncle Elroy and cousin Day Day haven't paid their taxes in a while, and their house is going to be auctioned the next day, so they also need to find a way to get money to pay off for the taxes for the house. So, what did I think of Next Friday? I mean, people think this is a terrible movie. Me, I thought it was just decent. It's a decent sequel. However, it's nowhere near as great as the first Friday, because the first Friday was such a well-written, awesome comedy, And this just feels like a downgrade in some ways. Like I said, I didn't hate this movie, but it's not that great as well. Let's get into my positives, because I do have positives with Next Friday, and my positives are the acting. Some of the acting's really good in the film. Of course, Ice Cube, I really enjoyed him in the film. He did a great job in the movie. I really enjoyed Ice Cube in the film, just like the first movie, kind of just playing the straight man, playing the straight man of the situation. I like that. He was great, honestly. He was really enjoyable. Mike Epps as cousin Day Day. He was really enjoyable too. I really enjoyed him in the film. I would say he's really the standout. He was really enjoyable in the movie. And although I don't think he's a great replacement of Chris Tucker, because let's be honest, he can't replace Chris Tucker. And apparently the reason why Chris Tucker didn't want to do this sequel is because he became a born-again Christian. So, he didn't want to do these type of movies anymore because of that. So that's the reason he didn't return for the sequel. And Mike Epps was good. I really enjoyed him as D-Day. He was very funny. Like I said, he stole most of the movie, honestly. It was great seeing Debo again. I really enjoyed Debo for the scene, the scenes that he was in, especially when he would just mess around with his little brother that he went to jail with, who was named Tyrone. That was funny. It really was. Whenever he would just smack him around and stuff, that was just too funny. Just most of the acting's really good for the most part. The comedy is funny. There are some really funny moments. It's not laugh out hilarious like the original film, but there were some funny moments in the film. I did think there were some funny moments in the film. I do like the chemistry between Ice Cube and Mike Epps. They really do seem like they have chemistry with each other, and they really do a good job in the film. The writing's really good. Honestly, for the most part, the writing's good. And I do think the writing is good for the most part, honestly. There's some really good directing in the film. I thought the directing was really good with the film. The pacing is good for the most part, honestly. The pacing is good. Had some really nice pacing to it, so yeah. Now, the negatives I do have with Next Friday are, first being, like the first movie, my only problem with the first movie was some of the acting. That leads into this movie as well. Some of the acting isn't all that great in the film. Craig's dad, although in the first film had some funny moments, he was just really annoying in the film. He really was. I didn't really enjoy his character. Same goes for Uncle Elroy. Had some funny moments, but he was just very cartoonish and over the top. Uncle Elroy's girlfriend as well, she was horrible. And these two girls that are following around D-Day. Not D-Day, I'm sorry, Day Day. I keep on calling him D-Day for some reason. And, they were terrible too. And, the villains were very cartoonish. Just the acting wasn't all that great, honestly, in the film. There were some really bad moments. There were some moments, with the comedy where you're just was I supposed to laugh at that? The movie wasn't really all that funny at times. Some of the writing is very terrible at times. There's some really, really bad writing with Next Friday. The villains were nowhere near as great or memorable as Debo or Big Worm. They really weren't. They were just kind of just over the top cartoonish villains, and they just weren't great. Like I said, they're nowhere near as memorable as Debo or Big Worm. And finally, the movie does get really boring, honestly. When, how can you get bored of a comedy, honestly? I just really wasn't laughing at times, and it just became really boring, honestly. I was really bored throughout most of the film, honestly, so yeah. Overall, guys, next Friday, like I said, it's not a terrible sequel, but however, it's not that great as well, and it's kind of a mess at points, so yeah. So it's time for my official grade on next Friday, and my official grade on next Friday is a B-. It's a decent comedy sequel, but however, compared to the original, it's very, very much a downgrade, and I just don't think it's all that great of a film. Like I said, I don't hate it, but it's not that great as well, so it's getting a B-. So what do you guys think of next Friday? Leave it in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you all tomorrow for my review for Friday after next. Peace.